Colonel's second straight appearance in the state tournament. They'll take it one step farther than last year as they will vie for the state championship. East Rock has been in the state tournament 3 years in a row now, looking for back-to-back state titles. Yesterday, after the win against Clintwood, Deborah Spencer, Sydney Morris, and Kalia Donegan were in the media room, and here is the recap of their thoughts right here on the pregame show, Subway pregame show, 105.5 KD Country.
Pleased with how we started the game, got off to, I thought, a good start, and really pleased with how hard we played in the second half. I thought we showed a little more patience and a little more discipline, and were able to convert on the free throws, which made a big difference in the game, especially at the end. So pleased with our defensive effort late in the game, did a good job on the boards, limiting them to only one shot, and just really happy to still be playing.
Questions? Coach, the free throw line brought it up 42 of 55. I don't know if you ever, I know you've been coaching a while, but I don't know if you've ever seen a stat line like that where you're kind of real quickly before you guys got back here. Don't know if it's a state tournament record or anything, but what do you say about that?
We knew, obviously, I had no idea we'd shoot 55 free throws. That's a lot. This team actually shoots a lot of free throws, and I think that's a tribute to our post players and trying to get the ball inside a little bit more. But I don't know if I've shot 55 of them. We've shot a lot. And obviously it was a difference maker. We didn't get a lot of points from the field goal, from the floor, and the free throws in making those. You know, last year we sat here last year at this time and had went 1 for 7 from the free throw line in overtime and lost. And that has been something we've talked to the kids a long time about all year. And so to see them come through on the free throw line when it counted means a lot.
You got down 6 in the middle of the third quarter. You called timeout and you started going inside. Talk about the emphasis on handling the ball inside.
We had mentioned it at halftime. That's what we wanted to do. Their guards are so quick and they put so much pressure on the ball away from the basket. And our offense, originally we had pulled our post people away from the basket a little more to help alleviate with the guard pressure. But in the end, we had to go back. The guards, we told them at halftime, you're just going to have to do your job. Handle the ball, handle the pressure, and we're going to pound the ball inside. That's where we felt our advantage was. We weren't making enough or taking advantage enough by pulling them away from the basket and spreading it. So we went back and, Kalia did a really good job. Had some real big baskets in the third quarter for us and got us back in the game. And you're right, that was a difference maker if for no other reason, just for confidence and discipline with our team.
Coach, did you ever think that you'd make it to the state title game making 8 field goals in the state title game?
When you say it that way, no. When you say it that way, no. You don't expect to make 8 field goals and actually still be playing. No. So did we want to get back to this game and think that we could this year? Yes, we did. But if you would have told me beforehand you're going to only make 8 field goals, then no, I would not think that I would still be playing right now, especially combined with the 30 turnovers that are sitting here.
I see where you with your lineup is not that big. I see you attack on offense more so than you run motion. I see you attack the basket a lot.
Yes, we try, especially with Sydney over here. We think she's a tough matchup away from the basket and putting it on the floor, although I'll have to say they did a good job of guarding her away from the basket. But, yeah, we think that our post people, they're not real big, but they're athletic, and we think that their matchup is a tough matchup for teams, pulling them away from the basket and them being able to put it on the floor and finish. And then they're both very good from the free throw line as well.
And I have to congratulate you on it. Like I told Coach, the varsity coach of the Altavista team, I said, where do y'all get all this talent from every year? Because the school is small.
It is.
Every year y'all is in playoff and going to the finals. I take my hat off to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I take it off to the kids because, good group of kids. They play hard, and then this group of seniors. As you said, this group has been in the state tournament the last three of the last 4 years, and, it's all about the kids and how hard they work and play. So I've got a good group, and I'm proud of them.
Sydney, I know you guys got to take one game at a time, but when you guys looked at the state tournament bracket, East Rockingham, team that arguably probably, obviously they're in the state championship game, so one of the 2 best teams in the state. Did you think that you guys might run into them again after you guys lost them in the region championship?
We knew that if we could make it to the championship, that's more than likely who we would be playing. They didn't graduate that many people last year, so they returned a lot of players, and they were state champions last year. And returning that many kids that played to the state championship game, they're going to have a lot of experience. So.
Losing to them in the regions not too long ago, does that kind of give you guys an extra fuel to make amends from that?
Yeah, it gives us a little, it gets us pretty hyped because we wanted another shot to see if we could challenge them more than they have been all season.
Did you guys think somebody didn't want you guys to play today or anything? Your locker room, locked, kicked it out?
We're having a tough time getting to the games. On the way to East Rock, our bus broke down. We were stranded on the side of the road for the regional finals. And here we are locked in the locker room and can't get out. They seem to enjoy it. I was glad I was in there with them because honestly, as a coach, I'd been a whole lot more nervous pacing outside with them stuck inside. So I was glad I was in there with them. I tried to talk a long time about pregame just so they wouldn't worry about being locked in, but I eventually ran out of things to say. So we just, they did a couple cheers and they kind of enjoyed it. I was pacing the floor a little bit.
That was 20 minutes or?
I don't know how. It was a long time. We went in at the start of the boys' the fourth quarter, and it took a while. They eventually broke it down and got us out.
Frazier plays a big impact on your team. Because I remember he used to be an Hall of Fame. He played at Altavista. He went on, I think, went to Virginia Tech, whatever.
He did.
Does he plays a big part in this winning program?
Yeah, he does. He's been with me since the season's changed from fall to winter. My other coach, Cliff Lee, had been with me for 13 years, and he didn't switch over. And so Coach Frazier joined us. The first year he joined us was the year we won the state title. His daughter played for me. And he's an excellent X and O person. He knows more X's and O's than anybody that I've worked with. So he adds a lot to what we're doing. And he has a good relationship with the kids, too. They like him. They tease him a lot.
Deb, what's it going to take to beat this Rock tomorrow?
I think we have to limit our turnovers. We're definitely going to have to shoot the ball much better than we did the last time we played them. That team puts so much pressure on you to score every time down the floor and to defend not only every possession but every person on the floor. They're fundamentally sound. They're disciplined. Certainly they're a tough matchup, and that's why they're the defending state champions. So we know we have our work cut out for us. And I think the time what our kids do between now and tomorrow, we only played 7 kids tonight, and so we're not very deep, and to try to keep up with them after expending so much effort tonight will be a challenge for us, but one that we're glad to have the opportunity to do.
Khalid, can you tell me a little bit about in the third quarter? You seemed to kind of spark a run, a couple big baskets, and what changed there? Did you all of a sudden be able to see the drives and everything?
Well, I'd say that I was kind of flustered at the end of the second half, but I just figured okay, my team needs me. We all of us want this win, so I figured I have to just get in there and do what I always do. And I know Squid played a really big part of that because I'm always picking her up, but this time she was picking me up, and I really needed it. So that played a big part of it.
Coach, can you tell me a little bit about TT? Even on a night when she struggles from the field and goes over, she still puts 16 in from the line, and a bunch of them there at the end to steal the game. And talk to me about her senior leadership there, being able to set the game for you.
You're right when you said, she has not scored that much from the floor for us here in the postseason, but she's done the other things on the court. She's a leader. She kind of keeps the team together and focused. She's a good passer, and she's a good ball handler and free throw shooter. So I think getting her, she went to the free throw line 18 times. And when you have somebody 16 for 18 and you're at the end of the game and she's one of your guards handling the ball, you like that. And she did a good job from the free throw line tonight. Got in foul trouble early, but did a good job playing with those fouls.
Juliet, this is sometimes it can be rare that a boys and girls team from the same school play for state title. It's already happened with Salem. now it's happening with Altavista. How cool is it, the fact, the boys win, sit in the bleachers, watch you, vice versa? It's been great for you guys, I guess, right?
Yes, it's very good because we're supportive of them a lot, but we always have to. I know Coach always tells us that it's good to cheer for them, but we have business here too. So we had to really figure it out this game and say, like, okay, we're here to do business. So we had to really get to it.
Number 14, I think, for the freshman player.
Yeah.
Had 12, I think, in the first half, and then maybe 5 in the second. What do you think different to her? Give her a little more distance?
There were a couple possessions, I think, in the fourth quarter where we decided to triangle into them, and then we tried to switch some defenses, went 1-3-1. I tell you, their high post play, I think, as much as anything, seemed like, at least to me as a coach, felt like it hurt us more than anything. They made some really nice passes and some really good feeds. But, yeah, we knew she was their main scorer, and we tried to be a little more accountable for her out on the floor, especially late in the game. And then we did go to the triangle and 2 a couple times. So it was something that we had talked about in practice, being aware of her. We apparently didn't do a real good job there at the end of the second half. She picked up a couple baskets there at the end that really swung the momentum to their favor. But we knew she was a very good player and a good shooter. So we did make some changes in the fourth quarter to try to take advantage of that. But honestly, they were more triggered because the point guard was in foul trouble, and I think that was a big difference for them. Their point guard, she may not score a lot, but she handles the ball really well, and when she went out of the game, we were able to do a little more defensively pressuring up on the ball.
You heard Deborah Spencer there along with Sydney Morris and Kalia Donegan. It's the Subway pregame show. That was postgame from yesterday in the Terry Siskey Media Room here at Virginia Commonwealth University. Beautiful facilities. Now a member of the A-10. Used to have the CAA in the middle of that free throw line, but no longer. However, today it's VHSL on the line. State championships. The Eagles of East Rockingham, the defending state champions, are going to take on the Altavista Colonels, the runner-up out of Region B, and they've already played East Rockingham one time, and I think that bodes well, has an advantage for Altavista too.
We've talked about hard to beat a team twice, hard to beat a team 3 times, so on and so forth. And yeah, these 2 ball clubs hooked up 2 weeks ago up there in the Region B championship game at Spotswood High School. East Rock came out a winner in that one, and it was by a pretty comfortable margin. But if you remember, Altavista had some foul troubles, had some shooting woes as well. I think this game's going to be a lot closer. And we also talked about they met up last year in that same region championship game. So there's some familiarity there, Mr. Alvis. These teams know each other. Both teams brought back a lot of the same players. Not virtually identical lineups from last year, but very similar anyway. And it's definitely a situation where Coach Spencer knows her opponent pretty well in this one.
Yeah, she was sharing some laughs and general conversation with Paul Comer, the head coach of East Rockingham, earlier in the pregame. You got to remember, East Rockingham is a relatively new school with less than 5 years of existence for the Eagles up there in Elkton. So we'll see if they can repeat. Altavista trying to prevent that.
Yeah, East Rock undefeated last year. Well, not undefeated last year, but they went on a long winning streak. I think they may have lost their first game of the year. They were undefeated this year until their district tournament when they were beat by Stewart's Draft. So they only have the 1 loss this year, and we've talked about it. Altavista, they have 4 losses, but none of them are to anybody that's any pushover by any situation, Bob, because they lost 1 to East Rock, 2 to JF, and 1 to Brookville. Very good Altavista Lady Colonels team, very seasoned and ready to go, much like the East Rock girls team.
East Rockingham was unbeaten until they hit their district tournament, in which Stewart's Draft caught them in the semifinals of that tournament. East Rock actually came in as the 3 seed to the Region B tournament and knocked off Amelia in the semis. So definitely a well-schooled group by Paul Comer in East Rockingham, but Deborah Spencer's group is no slouch either. We'll tell you more about the Colonels when we come back. It's the Subway pregame show on 105.5 KD Country.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company. There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Virginia High School League and the Virginia Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Heard of Moose? The Altavista Moose Family Center proudly supports Altavista High School athletics. Moose International is a family-centered, community-based organization that has been serving the Altavista area since 1952. The Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road in Altavista wants to wish the Colonel basketball teams good luck in the playoffs. Give the Moose Family Center a call at 369-6945 today to see how they're bringing together the Altavista community. Moose, a family fraternity.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista, East Rockingham. It's a Region B final matchup, but this time it's a little bit bigger of a trophy at stake. The state title handed out by the Virginia High School League. It's the first of 10 that they will hand out here over the next day and a half at Virginia Commonwealth University. You've got the Division 1A girls right now, then Division 1A boys, AAAs tonight, and then you've got a mixture of AA, single A, AA tomorrow. It all wraps up tomorrow evening. A very long week. Got to give hats off to the VHSL and VCU for the people who have been here ever since Monday working this tournament. It's a marathon, but Altavista right now, it's a 32-minute sprint for them as they're looking to capture a state title. And really, probably, you would think the Colonels are not going to win the game the way they did yesterday. Totally 100% a free throw line effort in terms of 40-some shots made. You don't think that's going to be done 2 days in a row.
Well, you can't ever count on making 40-some free throws in a game. You're right. But, I think if it gets down to a free throw shooting competition again, Coach Spencer probably likes her chances, particularly with what happened yesterday. Altavista's shown they can knock them down from the charity stripe. But I'm with you. I really think this will be a much different game. Not that there won't be fouls, and people will shoot foul shots, obviously. But I don't think it'll come down to free throw shooting. It may come down to the gritty, tenacious defense of the Lady Colonels. It may come down to scoring. It may be a high-scoring affair. You never know. We know East Rock can put up some points, Bob. We've seen that 63 yesterday in their win over Castlewood. East Rockingham beat Charles City in the VHSL state quarterfinals. Of course, the Lady Colonels knocked off Colonial Beach in this gym a week ago in their quarterfinal matchup, and then beat Clintwood yesterday. That's how both teams got here. You made a great point. Long season comes down to a 32-minute sprint here in this one tonight, or perhaps more. You never know.
And you never know. I mean, the loss that East Rockingham had to Stewart's Draft might have been a wake-up call in the district tournament up there in Single A. Shenandoah District, of course, like all districts, are split between Division I and Division II teams at this point. Next year, things will change on that avenue, but right now, here in the present is what East Rockingham is worried about. And I'll tell you, I saw Paul Comer's squad last year and the year before when they've been in this predicament at VCU, and I'll tell you, they are very, very well schooled.
Very well schooled. They've been here a bunch. You mentioned it, returning state champions or defending state champions, however you want to phrase it. They won the state championship in 2012, gunning for another one here. They got a great ball club in black over there, Bob. Altavista in the road, black unis. Got a great ball club standing in their way. Colonel Pep Band is here as well, making it feel like a home game. A lot of Colonel fans in attendance made the drive. You can name drop all you want there, but going to be a fun game. I think Altavista's ready, Mr. Albus.
And we'll be doing shout-outs of people who are listening back home. If you want to leave a comment on the KD Country Facebook page or whatever, Nick or Eleanor will let us know, and we'll tag team it that way. I know Kim Gafford's listening up in her classroom up in Lynchburg, teacher at Heritage, wife of Principal Ty Gafford. So big shout-out to her as it's a long day. You gotta pace yourself.
You do.
And we talked about the Subway pregame show. Might want to start off with the 6-inch, then work your way up to the foot long, and then get the party platter going. Then
save a little room for the cookies.
Have a few cookies for dessert, and of course wash it down with the great beverages you can find at Subway, 2 locations, Walmart on Clarion Road, as well as Main Street in Altavista. Big thank you to Robert Duff for all the support he has given us, as well as Colonel Athletics all year long. We see him run the clock a lot at the games as well. So Robert, a true community man, and Altavista looking to bring back a state championship to the community. Will they do it? We'll talk more about it when we come back on the Subway pregame show. Altavista and East Rockingham, Eagles and Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
I'm hungry. What are we doing for lunch?
E&S Mart.
E&S? I knew they had the best gas prices in town, but lunch too?
You can get 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for just $2.99.
$2.99? Wow!
Yep, high-quality Nathan's and Jesse Jones hot dogs with over 30 items on the topping bar, so you can load it up any way you want it.
I'm Mike Maddox. I'd like to invite you down to try the best hot dog in Altavista. Come on down.
E&S Mart, Lynch Mill Road, across from the elementary school.
Earn extra cash and declutter your home by consigning with the Shops of Altavista. Call 369-5437 for more information on what consignment items are being accepted. The Shops of Altavista carry a wide variety of kids and ladies apparel, as well as home decor and furniture. Their deals are so awesome, they've nearly been shopped out. Call the Shops of Altavista today, 369-5437. Open Tuesday through Friday, 9:30 to 6 p.m., Saturday 10 to 3 p.m., Main Street, Altavista.
Get ready for dazzling ball handling tricks, high-flying slam dunks, and hilarious family comedy. Join the Harlem Ambassadors basketball show on Thursday, March 21st at Altavista High School as they take on the Rotary All-Stars. Get tickets for $5 at Subway and Steve Farmer's Auto Sales or at the door for $7. All proceeds benefit the Altavista Rotary Club Scholarship Fund. For more info, call 841-0063. The Harlem Ambassadors. It's not your grandfather's basketball show.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista Colonels looking for the double. Of course, they got to get the single before they can get the second one. The Colonels ladies are going to take on the East Rockingham Eagles here in the Virginia High School League State Championship, and action will get underway in just a few moments. This is kind of a little bit more even choreographed than before. You've got the old media timeouts for the state championship. Of course, everybody, both sides reserves will be introduced as well as everybody. So this could take a while before we get started. The 2 o'clock time was very ambitious by the Virginia High School League, but as normal, most things when you plan them out never work the way you plan. And that's why you got to adjust to the fly. And you talk about Altavista having to adjust on the fly. You know, the boys and the girls have really been through a tumultuous week in terms of travel, and once they get into a building, getting out of the building, because you heard Deborah Spencer talk about it, locked in the locker room for a little bit yesterday. The girls had transportation issues going up to Spotswood. The boys had transportation issues heading to Salem. Everybody's here. Everybody's accounted for. Nobody that I know of has been locked in a locker room. The guys are to our right checking this one out before they take on West Point. The Lady Colonels will be dressed in their road black, orange and black striping down the side outlined in white. Numeral is on the back in white outlined in orange. Numeral on the front in white outlined in orange. Altavista written on the front of the jersey in white outlined in orange. East Rockingham in the home whites, red and black striping down the side. Numeral is in red outlined in black. Eagles written on the front in red outlined in black. Center same color scheme or number centered beneath with the same color scheme.
You mentioned you got to battle against the adversity. You know, there was the uncertainty of the weather as well. That might have messed up some practice plans. And you mentioned Coach Spencer getting locked out, or locked in, I should say. A lot of times you get locked out of the locker room, Bob. It's not often you get locked in the locker room. But it's all part of the drill here when you go on the road for these tournament games, and it's an exciting atmosphere. If you've never been up to Richmond, a lot of games going on all week, like you said, but, you know, if you could just do a Friday and Saturday, you could catch some really great stuff and a bunch of state championships. Lady Colonels I think they've only got one state championship in mind. That's the Division I Single-A Girls State Championship. That's what they're gunning for now.
ESPN has a 30 for 30. Well, if you can watch every game at Virginia High School League, it's a 30 for 30 as well. The Altavista Colonels, like we mentioned, probably the underdogs here today. I, talked to a lot of people on Media Row. Hard to find a lot of people that think the Colonels are going to win this game just because of past results. But, Deborah Spencer might want to play that card to a tilt in terms of, hey, nobody's giving us a chance, let's just go out there and see what we can do.
Yeah, you mentioned that yesterday, and I thought you made a fantastic point. You can relish the underdog role if that's the psychology you choose to employ, if you're the coach of the Altavista Lady Colonels. And you're right. You can say, hey, nobody gives us a chance. East Rock thinks they're just going to come in here and steamroll us. And you can definitely play that card up. I think this Lady Colonel team belongs on this court without a doubt, and they can play with East Rockingham. They can beat East Rockingham. Going to have to play well to do it because East Rock has a good ball club. But, hey, East Rock's going to have to play well to beat Altavista. The Lady Colonels have a good ball club, too.
Yeah, and certainly the Colonels helped out. East Rock has a good crowd behind us, a sea of red. But you got to think the Colonels are also helped out by having two teams here today with the girls and the boys. If you're just a general casual Colonels fan and not really a diehard of either program, you might make it up for both teams.
Exactly. It's great to come up and catch both games, and maybe having, some extra people here gives you the confidence. Maybe having the guys team here gives you a little confidence. And I mentioned the pep band as well. You got to believe that you're thinking about that. It feels like a home game because of the pep band. Here's the light show that you mentioned, Bob. Sydney Morris getting announced first. It's not unlike what the Colonels do at home for their light show, although certainly not pitch black like we're used to at home. I can still see you here in this one. And at those home games, I didn't know if you left the press box or what.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can still see you too here today, and that's eyesight issue in terms of, you don't have it pitch black in here because obviously everybody, you don't want anybody scared of the dark to run out of this place. But, I mean, it is an interesting concept here that VHSL does. Let's go over the starting lineup first for the Colonels, who will be essentially the road team in the road uniforms. They're going to start number 11, T.T. Dews, a 5'5" senior guard. Number 15, Sydney Morris, listed a 5'11" junior forward. Ryan Hedgepath, a 5'4" senior guard. Kayla Lee, a 5'6" senior guard. And Kalia Donegan, listed in the middle, at center, 5'9", wearing number 30. East Rockingham counters with a lineup that has a lot of youth in it. Number 2, Katie Doffelmeyer, a 5'8" junior guard. Madison Comer, daughter of head coach Paul Comer, runs the point at 5'5". She's only a sophomore. Number 25, Sarah Cameron, a 5'10" senior forward. Also joined by another senior, Jessica Lamb, 5'7" guard senior. And Megan Nicholson is the third senior in the lineup at 5'10". She's a center. But a lot of underclassmen that have been counted on as well from East Rockingham. And again, Paul Comer has his team schooled very, very well.
Yeah, well-schooled team. So is Coach Spencer's squad. They're ready to go. We couldn't do it without our A squad, our sponsors. Feller Chevrolet, where a short drive will save you money. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. E&S Mart, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for just $2.99. Select there, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Never an overtime charge. Finch & Finch, Funeral and Cremation Services. A family serving family since 1905. The shops of Altavista, kids and ladies clothing. Home decor, too, all at a great price. The Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road in Altavista. Herd of Moose. English is your complete home center and authorized Davis paint dealer. And the Rotary Club of Altavista presenting the Harlem Ambassadors basketball team Thursday, March 21st at Altavista High School.
Altavista's going to be going to our left here in the first half. The East Rockingham Eagles will go to the right. Sydney Morris is going to jump it with Megan Nicholson. Ball tossed in the air, and the tip-off goes to East Rock. Comer with the basketball. Quickly ahead to Lamb. Now Doffelmeyer swings it across to Cameron. Back out to Doffelmeyer, but Ryan Hedgepath steps in the lane. Hedgepath with the steal, controls it with her left. Now left side to Kayla Lee. Lee looking for somewhere to go, goes to Sydney Morris off the free throw line. Now over to TT. Dew sticks it into Donegan. Donegan puts it on the floor, drives, shot's too strong. Morris gets a hand on it and keeps the rebound over to Kayla Lee. Lee for 3. No good. Off the side of the iron, rebounded by East Rock. Cameron up ahead to Lamb. Lamb into Comer's hands. Comer lost it. Got it back. Shots up, and Jessica Lamb to the stripe for a pair.
And that's one thing that East Rockingham can do, Bob. They can get down very quickly in fast break, transition offense. Lady Colonels had a good series on offense. They got a couple good looks at the basket, wouldn't go in. And now East Rock heads to the free throw line, where I think you and I are pretty worn out seeing people from the free throw line from that game yesterday. First one goes in for Miss Jessica Lamb from East Rock.
Lamb hits the first. It's 1-0. Make it 2-0 as Lamb sinks two.
And that's one place that, like Altavista, East Rockingham is very good from, Bob. They convert a whole lot of those free throws when they get the chances.
Hedgepath with the ball, middle of the floor. Ryan looking for somewhere to go. Goes up top to Sydney Morris. Morris had the ball knocked out of her hands, picked up by the Eagles. Eagles having trouble controlling it now into the hands of Madison Comer. Comer to Doffelmeyer. Right wing, Doffelmeyer, the bounce pass in. Taken away by Morris. Ball still loose. Now Comer throws it to Kalia Donegan. Donegan plays for Altavista and leads it up to T.T. Dews. Dews does not have numbers, so she'll pull it back out. Kayla Lee, middle of the floor with the basketball. Now over to Hedgepath, middle.
2-0 deficit early, Bob. I'm sorry.
2-3 zone, it appears, for the East Rock Eagles so far. Lee with the missed three. And the ball is loose, and we're going to call it out of bounds, I believe, off Altavista.
Ball going to go back to East Rockingham. A little bit of a loose ball. Neither team could get after it. And tough from our angle. We are courtside again here from VCU. We got a good look, but not always when it's down the far end of the court.
Thrown far down for the Eagles. It's going to be a turnover with Altavista getting the ball back. A lot of media types, too, on the baseline. Most teams not used to the baseline being full in their regular season.
Yeah, usually you're used to a padded wall being there. Now you got to run into some photographers and cameramen.
Ball saved by East Rock. Taken away from TT, and Madison Comer with the layup from the left side, 4-0 Eagles.
Both teams with some turnovers early. Colonels have 3. East Rockingham has 3. East Rock leads 4-0.
Dew splits the defense, tried to pass it over to Sydney Morris, now taken back by the Eagles. Comer with the rock. Dews picks her up, Lee pokes it away, and they're going to call a foul on Kayla Lee. Her first, second one on the Colonels.
First one on Kayla Lee. She got in a little bit of foul trouble yesterday and even fouled out of that game there at the very end against Clintwood. Just her first one now. 6 minutes to play here in the Fellers' first quarter.
Comer with the rock. Comer looking for somewhere to go. Right into the media table, right down to our right. And the basketball is going to stay to East Rock.
Yeah, Mr. Mark Thomas from the Altavista Journal sitting to my right, Bob. You can get an Altavista Journal subscription tomorrow on the Katy Country Instant Auction.
Basketball in the hands of Doffelmeyer. Gets it over to Lamb. Lamb drives in and passes it back to Comer. East Rock very patient. Doffelmeyer to Lamb. Lamb looking to go inside. Lamb gets it inside. No good. Morris is going to fall down. And travel as Sydney tripped over Kalia Donegan. Both will get up slowly.
Yeah, Donegan was already on the floor. Sydney got the rebound and sort of tripped over Kalia. Bad situation there and an unfortunate turnovers for the Altavista Colonels.
Talk about strategy. You can alter your timeout strategy as Comer launches a three. No good. Rebound in the hands of East Rock. Now picked up by Kayla Lee, and Lee double teamed, and they're going to call Lee with the offensive foul. That's number 2.
And that hurts because Kayla Lee is the one that hits the deck, and they whistle her for the foul. She didn't have any room to move that pivot foot. Hard luck foul there for Kayla Lee. And Erica Wilson is at the table to check in. I imagine it will be for Kayla Lee. 5:27 to play. You mentioned the timeouts, Bob. You get the extra media timeouts. So you're right. It does change your strategy a little bit as a coach.
Kayla asking Deborah Spencer, what did I do? And Deborah Spencer said, I don't know. Off the feet of T.T. Dews. It's going to stay to East Rockingham with 5:24. That media timeout comes under the 4-minute mark.
Yeah.
So you can kind of wait around. Basically, you get 4 extra timeouts in a game. It doesn't affect at all the timeouts that are allotted to you previously, which is 5.
Sure, yeah. First dead ball under 4 minutes, and that's when they take the timeout.
Basketball in the hands of East Rockingham. Lamb, short jumper, left side, no good. Rebounded by Altavista's Erica Wilson, who's in the game for Kayla Lee. Wilson, Dews, Hedgepath, Morris, and Donegan on the floor. Basketball belongs to Hedgepath. Now to the free throw line to Morris. Morris gets it back out. Now stuck inside to Donegan. Donegan comes underneath, has it blocked, picked up by East Rock. It's Cameron who's going to lead this break. The pass to Lamb. Lamb catches. Lamb steadies herself, gets inside, no good, and the basketball is going to stay with the Eagles.
A nice block there by Sydney Morris. Got a piece of it. She's playing good, inspired defense. Nobody from the Colonels have scored yet. They trail 4-0 early.
But a good point is a lot of East Rock baskets haven't gone down either.
Yeah.
Comer's in the corner. Comer sticks it inside to Nicholson, and Nicholson deposits two in off the window. Deborah Spencer not going to wait for the media timeout. She's going to burn a 30. 6-0, East Rockingham with 4:41 to go in quarter number one. We're back after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
East Rockingham out to a quick 6-0 lead. Tell me what you see, Kyle Haney.
Well, East Rock's turned the ball over some. The Colonels have turned the ball over some, too. East Rockingham's just been able to capitalize on the Altavista turnovers, that's all.
Well, the bad point, too, is when East Rock's turning it over, it's deep in their own territory, which is giving them a free clear when they get it back. Wilson loses that one, picked up by Nicholson. Now off to Comer. Comer leads it up ahead for Lamb. Lamb to the basket. No good on the first try. Lamb trying to get some separation with her elbow. Can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Kalia Donegan. Now Erica Wilson with the basketball over to Ryan Hedgepath. 6-0, 4:10 to go in quarter one. State championship for the Division I girls on the line. TT Dews left corner with it. Dews will launch a three. Trying to break the ice for the Colonels. Cannot. Picked up by East Rock. Comer with the basketball. Back out to Lamb. Across to Nicholson. Now in that corner to Comer for three. No good. Rebounded by Erica Wilson.
Good job by Wilson. She's had a couple rebounds already, Bob, and she's a guard. Talk about Juan Thornhill being such a good rebounding guard. Maybe Erica Wilson is the girls' version of Juan Thornhill in that respect.
Hedgepath trying to get it inside, and a foul is going to be called.
Yeah, this one's on East Rock. Basketball is going to stay with Altavista. 3:30 to play. 6-0 East Rockingham lead to the Lady Colonels. You can't panic yet just because you haven't scored. It's been a good deal of time that's gone by. Wow, they're going to say this basketball is going to East Rockingham, Bob. That is unbelievable. I don't know who the foul is on, or if they're even showing one up on the board. Basketball is going back to East Rock, though, somehow, Mr. Albus.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused on that one myself. Donegan must have had the foul charge because she's got two on the board.
That's what it is.
Chelsea Robinson at the table. That media timeout must come under 3 minutes as well.
Well, that's hard luck there because, you know, again, Donegan was the one that hit the floor in that exchange.
Stoffelmeyer for a triple. No good. Rebound is loose and picked up by Comer. Comer squirts the pass right back into Cameron. Cameron can't hit, and now rebounded by Sydney Morris. Again, Kyle, we talked about this at length yesterday. This might just be a case where the Colonels need a positive play to get positive thoughts.
That's exactly right. Momentum going East Rock's way, but one big play could change things for Altavista.
TT Dews, right wing. Dews almost doubled. Dews trying to get it off to Donegan. That foul is going to go against Nicholson.
I think we're pretty sure of this one, too, although Donegan was the one that got fouled. And two hard luck fouls, really, because Kayla Lee hit the deck, and they called the foul on her earlier. And then same situation with Donegan on the last play, but this one is indeed on East Rockingham. Kalia Donegan will check out and get a breather. Chelsea Robinson checks in.
Hedgepath with it, middle of the floor. Between the circles, gives up to TT on the right side. Dews gets some position now over to Erica Wilson. Wilson, left side to Ryan. Hedgepath looking for somewhere to go. Chelsea Robinson joins the party for the Colonels, spelling Donegan. So Donegan and Lee both with two fouls here with 2:35 to go. TT, corner three, no good. Rebounded by Sydney Morris over the back.
Well, Sydney certainly jumped up over the East Rockingham player. I don't know that she made any contact, though. Sometimes when you're the taller player, though, you do get whistled for some of those over-the-back fouls just on appearance alone. Little full court press here from the Lady Colonels, trying to get another one of those steals.
But inside to Nicholson, right down. Cherry picking at the bottom. 8-0 East Rockingham.
And that's one of the dangers of the full court press. We talked about that yesterday. When the other team does break the press, a lot of times it will lead to an easy layup.
Dews with the basketball in the front court. Bounce pass and going to be knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay to Altavista.
Lady Colonel still looking to break loose on the scoreboard. They trail 8-0. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the Fellers first quarter.
Chelsea Robinson over to TT Dews, now to Ryan Hedgepath. Hedgepath to TT. TT puts it on the floor with her left. Now back over to Hedgepath, middle. In the high post to Chelsea Robinson. Squirts it back out to TT Dews. Dews drives all the way in. Puts it up, can't get it to go. Morris gets the rebound and sticks in two.
And same thing Morris did on the last play and got whistled for a foul. This time, no whistle. She just goes straight over top of a smaller East Rockingham player. Turnover here. Good defense from Altavista. East Rock dribbled it off their foot out of bounds. Maybe this is the spark the Lady Colonels needed, Bob.
Minute 44 to go here in quarter one. TT Dews with the basketball. Inbounding it to Ryan Hedgepath. Quick pass to Sydney Morris. Morris breaks the pressure. Morris tried to get it off to Erica Wilson. Wilson saves it. Nice play to Hedgepath. Hustle play by Erica Wilson, no doubt.
Had to get on the floor to do it. Stretched all the way out and bounced it over to Ryan Hedgepath.
Ryan Hedgepath, left side to TT Dews. Dews will try for a long one, no good. I'm not sure if that was a three. Rebound knocked out of bounds and it's going to stay to Altavista.
1:23 to play. 8-2. East Rock leads. It's been all East Rock early, but the Lady Colonels starting to get a little momentum going.
Hedgepath gets in the corner. TT Dews puts it on the floor, drives all the way in, uses the window, just won't go down. Hard luck right there for Altavista. Cameron with the board. Cameron looking for somewhere to go. Inside to Nicholson. Nicholson can't convert herself. Rebounded by Hedgepath.
Hedgepath had to tightrope the baseline there. She almost fell out of bounds, grabbing the rebound. Managed to hold on. Under 60 seconds to play now, Bob.
TT Dews with the basketball over to Erica Wilson. 54.3 to go. TT skips it across to Ryan Hedgepath. Hedgepath with the bounce pass into Sydney Morris. Sid the Kid puts it on the floor. Goes to the rack. Squirts out a pass to TT Dews. Dews tries to pass it over to Erica Wilson. Nice save by Doffelmeyer. She got it to Comer. And a good foul by Hedgepath to prevent Comer from getting anything up.
Yeah, couldn't get the shot up. One of the things you always talk about, if it's a situation, a 2-on-1 like that, and you've got to commit the foul, you may as well foul her on the floor. That's where that one was. It is his 16th foul in Altavista, however, though, Bob, and this is starting to look a little bit like a repeat of the region championship game where the Lady Colonels got in foul trouble.
Lady Colonels being very aggressive defensively as Erica Wilson comes away with that steal. Wilson, Chelsea Robinson, Ryan Hedgepath, Sydney Morris, and TT Dews on the floor. TT with the rock. Left side, Dews looking for somewhere to go over to Ryan Hedgepath. Now Hedgepath, middle of the floor. Chelsea Robinson at the free throw line. Robinson looking for somewhere to go. Knocked off, taken over to Hedgepath. Jump ball quickly, and the arrow is going to stay to Altavista.
And we've got the vocal East Rockingham contingent there. Jump ball gives it to Altavista. It's 12.4 seconds left, so plenty of time for the Colonels to run a set play here, or even you can just run your regular offensive set because you've got plenty of time to get it inbounds and do what you want to do.
TT Dews going to inbound to Sydney Morris. Now back over to TT. Into Dews. Off the give and go. No good. Rebounded and a foul in the backcourt, and that's going to send East Rock to the line for 1-1.
Yep. Getting in the bonus situation here. Very latter stages of the first quarter. 6.9 seconds left. It'll be a 1-on-1 situation for East Rock. Foul was on Ryan Hedgepath, her second.
And really tough luck, too, because that was about probably 90 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, a long way away from the basket. Hard to pick up a foul there, but Ryan was just trying to get in there and grab the loose ball, and she just came in a split second too late. Got to box out here if you're the Lady Colonels. Can't let East Rock get a chance on the missed free throw.
Lamb perfect so far from the free throw line. 9-2, East Rock leads. Altavista with one field goal today, coming from Sydney Morris. East Rock started the game off on an 8-0 run. And Lamb front irons that one, rebounded by Morris. 5 seconds to go. Sydney looking to push it up the floor. Gets it across off of East Rockingham, and it's going to stay to Altavista with 0.4. So not even really a catch and shoot. You just got to almost tip it.
Yeah, you could run a play where you send Sydney Morris streaking up to the hoop and have her try and tip it in there. That might be your best option right now with this amount of time.
Wilson's going to inbound it. TT catches, and that won't count. Three-pointer wouldn't have counted had it gone, but it didn't. And East Rockingham has a 7-point lead at the end of one quarter of play. 9-2, East Rockingham, the Division I Group A state girls title on the line. East Rockingham and Altavista. We're back in 1 minute on your home for Altavista basketball, 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
It's cold out there. Who are you going to call when that old heater finally breaks down? Select Air, 841-1580. Another question. Who are you going to call this summer when that air conditioner finally kicks the bucket? Select Air, 841-1580. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Never an overtime charge with Select Air. Call Donnie at 841-1580 for a free estimate or online at selectair.webs.com.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista down 9-2 to East Rockingham. Kyle, big things happening tomorrow in Katy Country as well.
It's an auction tomorrow starting at 9 o'clock. And, Bob, we're going to tell you about the first item we have coming up. I know you're a race fan, so this will appeal to you. Season passes to South Boston Speedway. That's going to be the first item we auction off, so get up early. Make sure you're there at 9. And like you mentioned yesterday, maybe a tag team situation where you and a buddy or a family member, you trade shifts. You know, one person takes the morning, the other takes the afternoon. But the South Boston Speedway season passes, sure to be a good item tomorrow morning. Lady Colonels, I think they've gotten their wake-up call. They trail by 7, but you only trail by 7. And I know it looks worse than maybe at first glance you would think it does because they've only scored 2 points. But they didn't play that bad a defense. They held East Rockingham to 9 in one quarter, which is a low-scoring output there. So Lady Colonels are still very much in this ball game, Bob.
Well, you pick on me for being this statistical freak, so I've got to look at a few things that pop out at me. Colonels have had 10 shots go up. Only one has been made, 0 for 5 from 3. And the Colonels have also turned the ball over 9 times. East Rock has turned it over 5 themselves, but
right.
a 2-to-1 ratio, that's not going to fly long term.
No, you're absolutely right. Altavista Lady Colonels got to cut down on their turnovers. They almost got another one there. Morris had a tip, but it sits back in East Rockingham's hands.
Casey Cox in the game along with Sydney Morris, Chelsea Robinson, T.T. Dews, and Erica Wilson. Comer looking for somewhere to go. Ball is loose on the floor. Picked up by Comer. Now over to Nicholson. Nicholson gives it back to Comer. I like the strategy by Deborah Spencer, putting Sydney Morris up top.
Right.
To kind of make those passing lanes look a little bit different. Rebound by Nicholson. Nicholson gives it off to Comer. Comer with the spin move. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Chelsea Robinson.
Nice defensive stand there from Altavista. They almost had a couple steals, Bob, but instead they had the missed shot. Then the rebound. Good job by Chelsea Robinson to get in there and box out, secure the basketball.
Erica Wilson, middle of the floor with it. High post to Sydney. Morris out to T.T. Dews will try her hand at another 3. No good. T.T. has missed 6. Rebounded by East Rockingham. Off to Lamb. Lamb over to Doffelmeyer. Now swings it. Comer for 3. Short. Rebounded by T.T. Dews. I'll tell you, East Rockingham has not played anybody different, Kyle, than their first 5 so far.
No, they haven't substituted. Altavista has. Some of that's been out of necessity because of the fouls. East Rockingham not really shooting the basketball that great. Here's a chance for the Lady Colonels to cut into the lead.
Casey Cox gives it back to Sydney Morris. Morris looking will go back out to Erica Wilson. Now right side to T.T. Dews. Dews drives in. Dews all the way to the rack. Dews puts it up and in. T.T. breaks the ice and gets her first 2 of the night. It's 9-4 East Rock.
Yeah, second field goal of the night there for the Lady Colonels. And again, maybe a chance for them to make a little run here, Bob, if they can get another defensive stand.
I'll tell you, East Rock, nice passing there. Lamb can't finish, or Nicholson, can't finish. That ball never even touched the floor from 3 East Rockingham players.
Great.
Erica Wilson with it.
Great ball movement.
Morris is going to get fouled. Shot won't go down, but she'll go to the line with 2 with 6:01 to go here in quarter 2. Altavista down 5.
Well, and how about the great defense by Casey Cox from Altavista, standing in there against the much taller Megan Nicholson. She made Nicholson have to alter her shot a little bit. The short one wouldn't go in, and Altavista got the rebound. First free throw up and in from Sydney Morris. First time Lady Colonels have been to the free throw line, Bob. If they can get there more often, you got to believe they're pretty comfortable. I think they had to make a rent payment yesterday. They went to that free throw line so often.
Melanie Kissling is going to come in and spell Nicholson. Nicholson has 2 early. Nicholson, part of 3 seniors from East Rockingham. looking to go back-to-back. Altavista does not want that to happen. Morris misses. Rebound came into Chelsea Robinson's hands, and it's going to knock out of bounds off of the Colonels.
9-5. Altavista trailing now. They've cut into the lead a little bit, and they're only down 4. If it's a low-scoring affair, I don't think Coach Deborah Spencer minds that one bit.
Doffelmeyer off to Cameron. Cameron across to Comer. Comer gives it. Lamb for 3. No good. Rebound by Sydney Morris. Almost a mutual possession there like you talked about yesterday with Morris and Lee. Now off to Erica Wilson.
Yeah, they should each get half a rebound like in football where you can get half a sack.
Now off to T.T. Dews. Dews sticks it on the block to Morris. Sydney turns around and fires and gets it to go. Altavista within the 2.
They're getting active here. Sydney Morris starting to make her presence felt. A little bit of a smile on her face. Let's see if the Lady Colonels can get another defensive stop.
Lamb with it. Looking for somewhere to go. Goes to Doffelmeyer. Now Cameron makes the extra pass to Comer. And a foul on the floor. It's going to send the Lady Eagles to the stripe. Foul's going to go against number 12, Chelsea Robinson. That's her first, 8th one on the Colonels. Good news, though, in the first 2 minutes and 44 seconds of this quarter, East Rock has not had a field goal.
No, they haven't. Altavista's defense has been very good, Bob. They forced some more East Rock turnovers. And like I said, they only allowed 9 points from East Rock in the first quarter. That's pretty good when you can hold a high-scoring team like East Rockingham. Under 10 points. Missed free throw there. Sydney Morris with the rebound. Here come the Lady Colonels.
Comer misses the 1-and-1, and that's another advantage. If you can keep those 1-and-1 to 1-and-1s, TT drives in. High off the window, no good. Hughes hustles after it. Basketball is going to go out of bounds. Last touch off Altavista.
Great point. If you can keep the 1-and-1s to 1 and done, and they don't even make any of them, that's the best situation you could ever hope for as a coach. And Altavista does have 18 fouls, so 2 more, and it'll be 2 shots from here on out.
Cameron looking for somewhere to go. Kick out. Lamb for 3. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Lee. Altavista got to consider themselves fortunate and good defense that they're not letting East Rock hit these threes. Offensive foul on Kayla Lee. That's number 3.
Yeah, and 2 of them have been offensive fouls. Kayla Lee's got to feel like a little bit snake-bitten here. Like, what can I do? They're not letting me play my game. And it's tough. I mean, it wasn't a traditional charge there where the defensive player just fell flat on their back taking the charge. It was sort of an odd angle. And I don't know that Kayla Lee was really out of control. So hard luck there for Kayla Lee. Altavista Colonels still trail by 2, 9-7. 4:40 to go here in the Fellers second quarter.
Again, I'm going to go saving grace. East Rock, no field goals so far in this quarter. That could be a jinx, but, you know, Doffelmeyer, Casey Cox back in the game. Doffelmeyer gets the basketball back, finds Cameron underneath. Cameron cut off immediately by Dews. Now over to Comer. Say, Altavista's defense, I think, has picked up the pace. Slam for 3. No good. Rebound comes down to Sydney Morris. Sydney will drive down the right side. Morris looking for somewhere to go. Comer comes past her. Morris looking for somewhere. Finds Chelsea Robinson right side. Robinson's shot rims in, rims out. Morris with the putback, and this game is tied.
Tied up, 9-9. Great play by Sydney Morris. A rebound on the defensive end, then a rebound on the offensive end, and the stick back.
I'll tell you, Mr. Alves would be proud because Altavista truly eating that elephant one bite at a time right now.
A great point, and they're playing some fantastic defense. You said it, still no East Rock field goals in this second quarter.
Lamb passes errant. Erica Wilson picks it up. Wilson might have gotten away with a little bit of a carry. And Wilson hit something. I'm not sure if it was a person or if it was that big beam. She's going to be slow to get up. Deborah Spencer and Angela Emerson both going to go check on Erica.
It was either the support for the basket, the floor, or another player, and Erica's a little slow getting up. We know Erica Wilson's a gritty, hard-nosed player. Well, she got knocked to the floor pretty hard, and I think she's going to shoot 2 free throws. But as a coach, if you say, hey, she's not physically able to shoot the 2 free throws, you can bring in somebody else, and Erica wants to shoot the free throws. She motioned at the free throw line, and Angela Emerson, the trainer for Altavista, says, no, I think we're going to take you out just to be safe and take a look at you. So Coach Spencer, at her, she can choose who she wants to pick the free throws, and she's going to choose a good one. Kalia Donegan will come in and shoot. We saw Donegan was, I believe, 10 for 12 last night from the free throw line, Bob.
Yeah, this is what I would call the big lineup right now for Altavista. A lot of post players in there with Donegan, Chelsea Robinson, Sydney Morris, Casey Cox, and T.T. Dews, kind of your lone guards out there. And this is going to be a 1-and-1 or a 2-shot situation for Donegan. Foul's going to go against Comer, her first, 3rd on the Eagles.
Yeah, and I have a feeling Erica Wilson is okay, and she'll be back in the game. I think Angela Emerson, the trainer for Altavista, just wanted to be safe. And you see Erica get up and yell after the first made free throw, and Miss Emerson has to say, hey, chill out a little. I haven't cleared you to yell yet.
10-9, Donegan looking to give Altavista its largest lead of the afternoon. Surpassing the largest lead of 1. The largest lead now becomes 2.
Yep. Big swing right there. Lead change, first one of the game, and it's an Altavista 11-9 lead in the Feller Chevrolet second quarter, Bob.
I'll tell you what, that's great coaching by Deborah Spencer. Put Donegan in, shoot the 2 free throws, get her out with Hedgepath, another ball handler.
Yeah, that's crafty. You don't do that in your first year of coaching.
Lamb under the basket, no good. Rebounded by Robinson, and a foul is going to go against Lamb. So I think the calls the Colonels felt weren't going their way in quarter 1 are now swinging their way in quarter 2.
Yeah, great point. They had a lot of close calls that didn't go their way. I mentioned Kayla Lee felt like she might be a little snake bitten. Now things are starting to go their way, and it's a momentum game. You and I always talk about it. Momentum is a huge factor in basketball.
T.T. Dews off into the hands of Comer, but Dews gets it back now off the Hedgepath. I'll tell you what, I think the Colonels are keeping the passing lanes manageable, but East Rockingham, I'll tell you what, they're like squad cars out there getting into them.
They're quick, and they like to jump in there and get the steals. Altavista's done a much better job in this second quarter of taking care of the basketball.
Casey Cox with it off to Sydney Morris. Altavista, the underdog, no doubt. But I think, they just got to hang around and see what happens.
That's right. I mean, if in a tie ball game or a 2-point ball game like this, you can't tell anybody they're the underdog because both teams deserve to be here. State championship game. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this first half.
And, last time I checked, too, the most important minute that you lead is when the clock reads 0 at the end of quarter 4.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many leads you have or how big they are, as long as you have one at the end. That's all that's important. Lady Colonels have a 2-point lead right now, and I think East Rock's going to get out of the zone and go to a man-to-man. Altavista was just holding the ball a little bit there.
Do you like that?
I do if you have a lead. It's scary when you only get a 2-point lead, but I like bringing East Rock zone out. That gives Sydney Morris and Donegan more room to work inside.
Dews gets it free, gets it to a layup. No good. Rebounded by Comer. Comer loses it to Dews. Dews off to Robinson. Robinson sticks up, won't go down. I'll tell you what.
Second one will.
Chelsea's first shot with a teaser, no doubt, but Robinson gets the rebound and gets it to go.
Stuck to it, got her own rebound.
13-9. East Rock still has not had a field goal in this frame. Doffelmeyer for 3, it's in.
They changed that, and it's a 3-ball. We saw East Rock make a bunch of those in the region championship game, Bob, but I figured their jump shooting might not be as good here in the tough shooting background of ECU.
Morris with it. I'll tell you what, though. Got to give the Colonels an A on effort on defense because that field goal came under 2 minutes to go in quarter number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Lady Colonels only had the 1 field goal in the first quarter. East Rock with just 1 in the second quarter. So it seems like each team has had their quarter, and maybe each team taking the other team's best punch and just keep on rolling with the punches if you're the Lady Colonels.
Fouls against Doffelmeyer, her first, team's 5th, and steal by Comer. Comer lays it up and gets it to go. East Rock gets the lead back at 14-13.
Yeah, knew you weren't going to hold them in check forever. Altavista's doing a nice job. Points off a turnover there for East Rock.
Casey Cox gets the pass from T.T. Dews. Casey will dribble it across midcourt. Cox knocked down to the floor. Picked up by Comer. Now off to Cameron. Cameron loses it, puts it on the floor. And a foul against Altavista. Fouls against T.T.
Yeah, I believe it's TT's second. 10 team fouls on Altavista. So 2 shots from here on out. 1:18 to play. That double bonus doesn't come too early in the second quarter. East Rock, we mentioned it, very good from the free throw line. Not exactly the place you want them if you're an Altavista fan.
Yeah, it doesn't come too early in the second quarter at all. I mean, only 1:18 left.
Right.
15-13 East Rock.
And you would think with East Rock in the bonus, the regular bonus at the end of the first quarter, that they would have gotten the double bonus sooner, but that's a byproduct of the good defense from the Lady Colonels.
Second one goes down 16-13.
Altavista had a 2-point lead, and just like that, it's a 5-point swing. East Rockingham with a 3-point advantage.
Wilson with it, lost it. Halftime can't come soon enough for the Colonels to get rid of this momentum. Cameron for 3, it goes down. Timeout, Deborah Spencer really have no choice. East Rock grabs a 6-point lead, 19-13, 1:03 to go. Full 1-minute break here on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
1:03 left. I got some information from Dean Hubbard right there during the quarter. No media timeouts now, just longer between the quarters. So that alters things if you were planning on 4 extra timeouts.
Yeah, there we go, shooting off at the mouth again like we tend to do, but it certainly does change things, and I think the coaches were probably made aware of it. They just didn't make us aware of it.
Sydney Morris gets it off to Erica Wilson. I still stick by Altavista needs halftime to break this East Rock momentum. However, TT Deuce 3 could do it. No good. Rebounded by Comer. I'll tell you, normally I would say hold for one, but East Rock's gotten hot here lately. They'll go down intended for Kelsing, but it's going to go back over to Altavista.
Pass was a little too high. Good recovery from Altavista on defense. They got back in a hurry. Here comes the three-quarter court pressure. That's not a true full court press. They pick Altavista up just when they get it inbounds.
Wilson gets it over to Dews, now back over to Erica. Wilson goes to Casey Cox. Cox immediately gets rid of it on a touch pass to Sydney Morris. Morris looking for somewhere to go and travels.
Didn't move the foot much, but probably dragged the toe just a little bit. Morris was looking for somebody to pass to. 28.5 seconds. And you're right, Bob. At halftime will be very beneficial for the Lady Colonels. It certainly was yesterday. They played great in the second half. Maybe that's what they need. They need to get back in that locker room and think a little.
Less than 20 seconds to go. 19-13 East Rock. It's in the hands of Doffelmeyer. Over to Comer. Down to Doffelmeyer. Doffelmeyer thought about it. Gets it back. Down to 5. Down to 4. Comer will fire from the free throw line. Shots up too strong. No good. Rebound taken, and it's going to go in at the horn. It's Sarah Cameron. So 3 becomes 5 for East Rockingham. A 21-16 lead going into intermission. The Subway halftime show is back after this timeout on your home for Altavista Athletics, 105.5 KD Country.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
Get ready for dazzling ball handling tricks, high-flying slam dunks, and hilarious family comedy. Join the Harlem Ambassadors basketball show on Thursday, March 21st at Altavista High School as they take on the Rotary All-Stars. Get tickets for $5 at Subway and Steve Farmer's Auto Sales or at the door for $7. All proceeds benefit the Altavista Rotary Club Scholarship Fund. For more info, call 841-0063. The Harlem Ambassadors. It's not your grandfather's basketball show.
Earn extra cash and declutter your home by consigning with the shops of Altavista. Call 369-5437 for more information on what consignment items are being accepted. The shops of Altavista carry a wide variety of kids and ladies apparel, as well as home decor and furniture. Their deals are so awesome, they've nearly been shopped out. Call the shops of Altavista today, 369-5437. Open Tuesday through Friday, 9:30 to 6 p.m., Saturday 10 to 3 p.m., Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista trails by 8 at intermission, 21-13. The Subway halftime show. Bob Alvis alongside Kyle Haney and KH. East Rock really kind of got quiet there, but they roared back in the end of the second quarter to make it an 8-point margin.
Yeah, Altavista really owned about the first 6 minutes of that second quarter. Last 2 minutes were all East Rock. They roared back ahead, like you said. It's a 7-point lead. Altavista actually had a 2-point lead at 1 point in that second quarter, so it was a wild second quarter. Interesting stuff. And, I think the Altavista Colonels, they're going to start the third quarter the same place they started the second quarter, down 7. We saw that they came back from that. I don't think a 7-point deficit's too much, But certainly the Lady Colonels have got a few things they'd like to improve on here in the second half, and they're going to have to improve on if they want to bring home that state championship trophy.
And, I know I'm breaking protocol with player of the half, but I'll tell you what, Sarah Cameron really turned it on there. Scored the last 7 points of the quarter for East Rockingham. She has 7. I mean, that was a big boost that the Eagles got. And you can tell Cameron, a senior, playing to her class.
Yeah, absolutely. State champion from last year. She wants a repeat. Altavista wants to deny that repeat state championship, take home one themselves, and I think they still have a very, very good chance at doing that. Of course, guys game on after us. Don't turn away for that. Still one half of very good basketball left in the girls' contest.
And, I talked to Coach Comer before the Eagles came up here last season, and he talked about how these girls have, been playing together since youth league ages, and he's coached a lot of them since they've been younger. And I think you can tell it's well-schooled because, when I was walking over here from the media room at the end of the before the game, Kyle, during that last game, East Rockingham was very loose. I thought Deborah Spencer was loose. And I think if you're loose, that's a big advantage because the teams that play tight, you're really just fighting yourselves as well as the opponent at that point.
Certainly. And we've mentioned that. Altavista's been loose. They've been up here a bunch this year and in years past, so they're comfortable in this gym. And you got to say the same thing about East Rock. They're the defending state champs, so they played 2 games up here last year, obviously, 2 games this year. They probably feel like this is a home away from home. And you make a great point. Both teams are loosey-goosey, ready to go. Altavista might be a little bit tighter now because of the 7-point deficit. But I don't think 7 points is all that much. We saw it wasn't that much. Altavista came back and got a lead in the second quarter when they were down 7 points. They can do it again here in the second half.
And a state semifinal appearance the year before for East Rock. So, these girls that are seniors that were sophomores then, they really have a ton of experience on this floor. And, even though it's, about 12 months in between each time, I still think that it's valuable experience of if you can say we've played on this floor, 2 or 3 times. Altavista can say this is our 3rd time just this year.
Right.
But it helps with the previous experience, which also the Colonels do have too. Let's not sneeze at their experience. It's a Subway halftime show. Never an opportunity to sneeze at Subway. You can load up on the black pepper if you want to get the sneezes or the oregano on your subs. A lot of good specials. We'll tell you about those as we go through the day. East Rock 21, Altavista 13. We're back after this on the Subway halftime show on 105.5 KD Country.
I'm hungry. What are we doing for lunch?
E&S Mart.
E&S? I knew they had the best gas prices in town, but lunch too?
You can get 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for just $2.99.
$2.99? Wow!
Yep, high-quality Nathan's and Jesse Jones hot dogs with over 30 items on the topping bar, so you can load it up any way you want it.
I'm Mike Maddox. I'd like to invite you down to try the best hot dog in Altavista. Come on down.
E&S Mart, Lynch Mill Road, across from the elementary school.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care. A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia. The Altavista Colonels trail East Rockingham 21-13. We've got a lot of great stuff going on today and tomorrow. Of course, this is the first half of our Colonel doubleheader. Guys' team will be on after us, and then the instant auction tomorrow. And Nick Bailey making it sound good today, and it's everybody making it sound good these next 2 days. All hands on deck, as Mr. Bob Alvis would say. Full lineup in action for us these 2 days. And a lot of the lineup has been in action for the Altavista Colonels so far in this one. Little quick halftime scoring rundown. Chelsea Robinson with 2 points. Kalia Donegan with 2 points, both from the free throw line. T.T. Dews with 2 points, and Sydney Morris has 7. That brings them to their 13 points. Sydney Morris 9 rebounds as well. So she's getting it done in all areas, even though the Lady Colonels trail. On the other side for the East Rockingham Eagles, Doppelmayr has 3. Comer has 4. Sarah Cameron has 7. Lamb has 3. And Nicholson has 4. So that's a bit of a halftime scoring breakdown there. A bit of a breakdown on our KD Country Instant Auction tomorrow, starting at 9 o'clock. First item is going to be those South Boston Speedway season passes. So make sure you don't miss out on that one. If you're a race fan or you know a race fan, let them know. A lot of great action down there at South Boston. And then the list goes on after that. I mean, the food items alone, we could talk about the rest of the halftime show. Applebee's, CC's Pizza, Vinny's, Papa John's Pizza, all kinds of great food items that we're going to have. Great bowling from Fort Hill Bowling Center, golf from a bunch of different places. Again, it's going to be great stuff. You don't want to miss out on the semi-annual KD Country Instant Auction. And speaking of semi-annual, Colonel Sports has been on the air for 50 years. We're celebrating half a century on the air following the Altavista Colonels, and it's not like some of these fly-by-night operations that show up when a team gets in the playoffs or in the state championship. KD Country is always there. Bob Alvis is back. The Altavista Colonels are just now coming back out of the locker room, Bob. They spent a little while in there like they did yesterday, so I don't think that's anything to be alarmed about. But do we need one more quick timeout before the Feller's third quarter or not, Mr. Alvis?
That's your call.
That's my call, man. I'm putting
you in the big boy seat today.
We still got about a minute and a half before the start of the third quarter, so let's take a minute timeout here. Second half action on the way. Colonels, Eagles on 105.5 KD Country.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Virginia High School League and the Virginia Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's cold out there. Who are you going to call when that old heater finally breaks down? Select Air, 841-1580. Another question. Who are you going to call this summer when that air conditioner finally kicks the bucket? Select Air, 841-1580. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Never an overtime charge with Select Air. Call Donnie at 841-1580 for a free estimate or online at selectair.webs.com.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Lady Colonels have some ground to make up if they want to capture a state championship. They're down 21-13 as we head to quarter three. Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney, Nick Bailey, impeccable back at home base. Subway halftime show getting ready to end in just a few moments. As you kind of see the old, if you've ever gone to a college football game and you see the media person step out there on the numbers, it's kind of the same thing you have at VCU with the lady at the table.
Yeah, she's controlling the timeout situations, and T.T. Dews had to wait a few seconds to inbound it, but the Lady Colonels do get an inbound now, scoring on our right-hand side here in this second half.
Dews with the basketball, middle of the floor, left side to Ryan Hedgepath. Ryan looking for somewhere to go. Hedgepath pushes it back out to T.T. Dews with the rock. Looks like East Rock kind of in a little bit of a man-to-man, but dropping into his zone as well. Donegan back in the game as well. Gets over to Kayla Lee. Lee sets for two. No good. Kayla chases after it. Lee winds up on the ground, and the basketball goes to East Rock.
Yeah, Lee got some fingertips on it, trying to get her own rebound, but just couldn't quite pull it in, and she might have been aided by an East Rock player and hitting the floor out of bounds. No whistle. 21-13. Second half just underway.
Three-pointer up by Lamb. No good. Rebound comes down in the hands of Cameron. Cameron tries to get it out to one of her players. Sydney Morris comes away with it instead. Donegan calling for it. Morris opts to go over to Hedgepath. Now to T.T. Dews. Dews left side. Tried to go inside to Donegan. Knocked away. Picked up by East Rockingham.
And you see Kayla Lee wanted to dive in there after that ball, but she knows she's playing with 3 fouls, trying to be careful.
Inside and stuck in by Nicholson for two.
In quick transition, Bob, they beat the Lady Colonels defense down and get some easy points close to the basket.
23-13, the lead is 10. Back the other way, Altavista gets in two, and it's Kayla Lee.
Nice bounce pass, Sydney Morris to Kayla Lee. Morris drove it down, got behind the defense, behind the backboard, then made the extra pass to Kayla Lee.
Comer tries to go inside, knocked away, and it's going to stay to East Rockingham. Colonels have really had a lid on that basket until Lee broke the ice for a long time. They were up 13-9 when Robinson got her second chance opportunity, and since then have not scored. Basketball thrown away. Hedgepath is in a sprint after it. Hedgepath gets it right side. Doffelmeyer sets. Hedgepath can't get the ball to go down. Lee with the rebound takes it up. Hughes gets it to go in, and TT to the stripe.
Great effort there. First the steal from Ryan Hedgepath. She couldn't convert the first one. Big scramble for it. A lot of different players had their hands on it, but TT comes up with it, sticks it back in, and the foul. Here's a chance for the three-point play. She converts it. 23-18 East Rock leads. But, Bob, does it feel a little bit like the second quarter where the Altavista Lady Colonels came on strong?
Foul is against Cameron. It does, as Altavista has now gotten this to within 5. Doffelmeyer looking to go. Gets it over to Lamb. Of course, what helped, too, is East Rock really struggled from the floor in that second quarter. Doffelmeyer over to Comer.
And some of that was Altavista's defense, but you're right, some of it was just plain missing open shots.
And some of that was a three. And that's Sarah Cameron again. Cameron has really heated up since late second quarter.
Now,
East Rock lead back to 8.
They're not missing now. Traveling violation on Sydney Morris. Maybe that momentum swing shifting back to East Rockingham. Let's see if the Lady Colonels can get another one of those defensive stops. But, yeah, East Rockingham's shooting's starting to find its mark here, Mr. Alvin.
We really talked about this when the guys played against Dan River. You can't let the team get on a run without you getting 2 and 4 in between somewhere. Doffelmeyer with it. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay to East Rockingham.
Yeah, great point. Limit their runs to 2 and 4 point runs, not 10-point runs, that sort of thing.
Comer with the basketball. Now over to Cameron. Cameron skips it across. Now back to Comer. Comer. Nice pass inside to Nicholson, and Nicholson finishes.
Yeah, first they broke the Altavista defense down with those long skip passes, getting Altavista to over-rotate, then a little dribble penetration, and then the extra pass inside.
Lead back to 10. Hedgepath in the front court. Ryan double-teamed, throws it away, and knocked out of bounds. And the basketball is going to stay with the Lady Colonels. Kayla Lee to inbound right in front of us.
28-18, I'm sorry, Bob. Back to a 10-point lead.
Over to Hedgepath, now to TT. Colonels, Deborah Spencer talked about in the postgame yesterday, only played 7 people yesterday, so you got to wonder how their legs are. East Rock has only played 6 today.
Yeah, I know East Rock got to sub a little bit more yesterday than the Lady Colonels did, so maybe their starters are a little bit fresher, but I think everybody can tough it out at this point.
Going to call a foul on the floor against East Rockingham.
I think it's on number 2. That is Katie Doffelmeyer. Sydney Morris was setting a screen on her, and Doffelmeyer just sort of ran through it.
2 team fouls on East Rock here in quarter 3. Altavista has yet to commit one. Thrown the corner, Dews. Dews couldn't handle it. Picked up by Cameron. Cameron, right side. Lamb. Doffelmeyer sets for 3. No good. Rebounded by Donegan. Now up to Hedgepath. Hedgepath tries to go. Dews knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay to Altavista.
Altavista just needs to settle in here, get some points in the half-court offense, and then they can go down and let their defense work.
Bounce pass down to Donegan. Couldn't handle. It's going back the other way.
Yeah, turnover there. Altavista's really been plagued. They've had too many of those turnovers. By the official statistical count, they had 15. East Rock had 9. Again, if Altavista can limit the turnovers, take care of the basketball, I think they're okay in this one, even though they trail by 10 right now, Bob.
Cameron off to Comer. Comer loses it. It's going to be picked up by Donegan, or by Lee, pardon me. Lee lays it up and in from the left side.
Good job by Lee, and there's one of those turnovers. Nice steal by Kayla Lee, and then the finish on the other end.
28-20. Doffelmeyer goes over to Lamb. Lamb cut off, and they're going to call a foul against Dews.
I believe it's 2 on TT Dews. Just the first one of the half for the Lady Colonels. They trail by 8, 3:53 to go in the Fellers third quarter.
Got to wonder about Erica Wilson. We haven't seen her since that little collision early in quarter 2.
She checked back in after that. She was in at the end of the quarter. But you're right, we haven't seen her a whole lot.
3 for Comer, no good. Rebounded by Hedgepath. Hedgepath with the basketball. Hedgepath had it knocked away and picked up by East Rock. Eagles with it. It's in the hands of Doffelmeyer. Doffelmeyer goes around left side, now stuck inside. Lamb puts it up, no good. Lamb second try, goes up and in.
There's the second effort right there from East Rock. Stretches the lead back out to 10. And the lady you mentioned, Erica Wilson, waiting at the scorer's table to check in. Next dead ball for the Lady Colonels.
Hedgepath over to Kalia Donegan. Donegan in front of the free throw stripe. Can't get it to fall down. Rebound. East Rock. East Rock up 10, 30-20. Doffelmeyer left side to Cameron. Cameron looking for somewhere to go. Lost it. It's going to stay to the Eagles. Timeout. Deborah Spencer calling for it.
Don't know if it's been granted yet, but she called for it. Yep, Sydney Morris has to let the official know, and now they finally do give Altavista the timeout.
We'll take the stoppage as well. 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go. It'll be a full 1 minute timeout here on 105.5 KD Country.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
Heard of Moose? The Altavista Moose Family Center proudly supports Altavista High School athletics. Moose International is a family-centered, community-based organization that has been serving the Altavista area since 1952. The Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road in Altavista wants to wish the Colonel basketball teams good luck in the playoffs. Give the Moose Family Center a call at 369-6945 today to see how they're bringing together the Altavista community. Moose, a family fraternity.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Lady Colonels down 10 with 3:03 to go here in quarter 3. Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney alongside, and KH right now, East Rockingham is looking like that car that does not have any mechanical flaws.
Yeah, they're starting to really get it going, starting to shift that car into high gear. Here's not a steal, but TT Dews was able to tip it out of bounds. Altavista's still right there, though, Bob. They only trail by 10. Very low-scoring game, so nobody's out of it till the very end.
Think you'd like to keep it along this margin. Cameron fires a 2, no good. Rebounded by Sydney Morris. Now off to Kayla Lee. Lee, left side to TT Dews. Now back to Kayla Lee. Now over to Erica Wilson. Wilson over to TT. Dews swings it in the corner to Kayla Lee. Lee dribbles in, runners up. Not going to fall. Chelsea Robinson tries to get the rebound, cannot secure it. Picked up by Cameron. Cameron wraps around pass. Nice one. Gets the head to Lamb. Lamb tries to go up to Comer. And it's going to go back over to Altavista.
Bob, the free throw line is normally where I tell you about the Fellers third quarter, but we haven't had many of those, which is maybe a refreshing change from yesterday. But search all of Fellers' new and used inventory online at fellersdirect.com. Fellers, where a short drive will save you money.
Clock heading down to 2 minutes to go here in the frame. Colonel still trail by 10. TT drives in, cut off, looking for somewhere to go. Gets it to Erica Wilson. Wilson's going to bring it back out.
And now that East Rock has the 10-point lead, Bob, they don't have to stretch that 2-3 zone defense out any further than they want to.
Kayla Lee for 3. Ball bouncing around, no good. Chelsea Robinson gets some fingers on it. Basketball is going to go back to East Rockingham on the arrow.
Which is different when Altavista had the lead, and East Rock, really it was imperative that they did stretch their defense out and make Altavista do something. You didn't want the Lady Colonels to hold it all game. But now that East Rock's up 10, they can pack that defense in tight, take away the paint, make Altavista have to shoot those long jump shots.
Comer with the basketball. $1:43 to go. Lee going to get out on top of her. Now over to Lamb. Lamb. Bounce pass to Doffelmeyer. Doppelmayr looking for somewhere to go and goes to Comer.
Yeah, now East Rock's doing exactly what Altavista was doing, pulling the basketball out, spreading the court, running some time off the clock, which is what you should do when you're up 10 points. Altavista's just got to try and find a way to stop it.
Comer guarded by Lee. Now Comer gets over to Doppelmayr, now back to Comer. Clock heading towards a minute here in quarter 3. Altavista's got some ground to make up. Paul Comer would like to talk about what he wants to do with a 1-minute timeout. We'll take it as well. 1:04 to go in quarter 3. East Rockingham 30, Altavista 20, 105.5 KD Country.
Earn extra cash and declutter your home by consigning with the Shops of Altavista. Call 369-5437 for more information on what consignment items are being accepted. The Shops of Altavista carry a wide variety of kids and ladies apparel, as well as home decor and furniture. Their deals are so awesome, they've nearly been shopped out. Call the Shops of Altavista today, 369-5437. Open Tuesday through Friday, 9:30 to 6 p.m., Saturday 10 to 3 p.m., Main Street, Altavista.
Get ready for dazzling ball handling tricks, high-flying slam dunks, and hilarious family comedy. Join the Harlem Ambassadors basketball show on Thursday, March 21st at Altavista High School as they take on the Rotary All-Stars. Get tickets for $5 at Subway and Steve Farmer's Auto Sales or at the door for $7. All proceeds benefit the Altavista Rotary Club Scholarship Fund. For more info, call 841-0063. The Harlem Ambassadors. It's not your grandfather's basketball show.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista in a hole. The hole is 10 points, 30 to 20, 1:04 to go here in the third quarter. Three-pointer by Cameron, in and out, no good. That could have really stung Altavista big time.
Yeah, if that had went down, that would have hurt, but luckily it didn't. Altavista's got 50 seconds left in the third quarter. Definitely need to get some points, though, if you're the Lady Colonels.
Well, I mentioned to you in the break right there, Kyle, if Altavista could get this down to 6, I think that's ideal heading into quarter 4. Morris with the basketball. Morris cut off, looking for somewhere to go. Goes out to Dews. Dews for 3. No good. Rebounded by Robinson. Stuck back up. Not going to fall down. Back iron. Rebounded by East Rock. 25 seconds to go in the quarter. Kalia Donegan at the stripe, but might not even be able to check in.
Might not. Quarter might end, and I think East Rock's probably going to hold for 1. You'd have to bet, Bob.
Doppelmayr with the basketball. Cameron for 3. Short. Rebounded by Morris. Morris lost it. Gets it ahead to Wilson. Down to 7 seconds. Erica throws a pass up, and it's going to deflect out of bounds, and it's going to give Altavista the basketball back with 4.7 seconds. Donegan's going to check in, and Kayla Lee's going to check out.
So 4.7.
Sydney's going to check out. Pardon me.
You're right. It's 4.7 seconds. Plenty of time to catch and shoot or even take a couple dribbles, but you can't take long.
Dews with the basketball. Dews gets it over to Erica Wilson. Wilson back to Dews. TT will have to fire right in front of half court. Shot close, no good. Kayla Lee gets the rebound, but that wouldn't have counted had it gone. Altavista has got to make up some points here in quarter 4. They trail 30 to 20. Your home for the VHSL State Championship is 105.5 KD Country.
I'm hungry. What are we doing for lunch?
E&S Mart.
E&S? I knew they had the best gas prices in town, but lunch too?
You can get 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for just $2.99.
$2.99? Wow!
Yep, high-quality Nathan's and Jesse Jones hot dogs with over 30 items on the topping bar, so you can load it up any way you want it.
I'm Mike Maddox. I'd like to invite you down to try the best hot dog in Altavista. Come on down.
E&S Mart, Lynch Mill Road, across from the elementary school.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
It's cold out there. Who are you going to call when that old heater finally breaks down? Select Air, 841-1580. Another question, who are you going to call this summer when that air conditioner finally kicks the bucket? Select Air, 841-1580. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Never an overtime charge with Select Air.
Call Donnie at 841-1580 for a free estimate or online at selectair.webs.com.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista trails by 10, 8 minutes of play left before a champion is decided for Division I Girls in Virginia High School League. Bob Alvis with Kyle Haney here, enjoying a day of basketball in Richmond, and it's hard not to enjoy it when Nick Bailey's at the helm, or Eleanor Haney, but we've got Nick right now.
Yeah, and I mentioned it while you stepped out there for a second. It's like you say, it's all hands on deck, so the entire staff is available there at the station as they're getting ready for the auction. And you know, it's a big day, a state championship Friday. We had to have everybody ready for this one. Lady Colonels better be ready for this fourth quarter. They trail by 10, Bob, but no way are they out of it.
TT Dews drives in, Dews drives around, Dews kicks it back, and the basketball is going to stay to Altavista. 10 seconds into the fourth quarter, knocked out of bounds. The guys will be coming up next against the Pointers of West Point.
We've seen West Point a few times, and, of course, we've seen the Colonels a bunch, too.
Inside to Robinson, no good. Second try is going to fall down, 30-22.
And that's the second time tonight Chelsea Robinson has got it to go on her second try. Great tenacity and stick-to-itiveness by Chelsea Robinson.
Well, how much time do you really expect to see East Rock waste right now?
Great question. I think they'll spread the court and try and waste as much time as they can, but they're going to try and keep scoring. Kick ball here on Kalia Donegan. She got the steal, but had to use her foot to do it, and that's a no-no in basketball.
Possession error also reads East Rock.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. Next jump ball, mutual possession will go to East Rock.
TT Dews with the steal, and Dews just hustles after it. TT comes in with the layup. Dews gets it to go.
Big play there, and that could be the momentum swing. Very reminiscent of the steal Michi Malbeck got in the guys' state quarterfinal game. Lady Colonels only trail by 6, Bob. 7 minutes to play.
Well, I said get it down to 6 by the end of the quarter. You got it to 6 with under a minute to go in the quarter. That ball is going to go out of bounds off of East Rockingham back to Altavista.
Yep, so they basically did what you said. I mean, they got it done. It's 7:02 to play, actually, and here comes Sydney Morris back in the game. So you got one of your big stars back in there for the Lady Colonels. Momentum starting to swing again, and it may be one of those games who has the ball last, or like we said yesterday, who's on the free throw line last.
The sensation checks in. Kalia Donegan with the basketball. Donegan gets it off to TT Dews. Dews goes down and knocked out of bounds, and the last touch off Morris's hand. And unfortunately, you know, nobody was really close enough to give that official help because that official did have the best angle.
He had the best look. He was right in front of it. Not a bad call, a tough call that could have gone either way. Basketball back in East Rockingham's hands. Lady Colonels down by 6 in the Fellers fourth quarter.
Happened right in front of the Colonels bench. They did not agree. Three-pointer hoisted up by Lamb. No good. Rebounded by Donegan. I'm really not sure why East Rock is firing threes at this point. Donegan goes all the way in. No call. As the East Rock player goes down, Donegan had her leg corralled. It appeared. And demolition derby here at VCU.
There was some contact. There was some wreckage. There was some bodies on the ground.
Dews.
Some more there.
Falls down. The foul is going to go against Comer.
Well, and the contact was there. Certainly. That's just 3 team fouls on East Rock. Altavista's only committed 1 this half, so you got to believe Deborah Spencer mentioned in the locker room, hey, we can't commit as many fouls as we did in the first half, where the Lady Colonels were over 10. So certainly not a whole lot of foul trouble right now for Altavista.
At some point, you're going to have to probably start.
You might, right?
Just to get them in bonus. You know, if you're down to 3 fouls with a minute to go, you got to commit 3 or 4 just before. Sydney moves the foot. It's going to give it back to East Rock.
Got up in the air and tried to pass, and that's one of the dangers with passing in the air is if nobody's open, you have to come back down with the basketball. You risk a turnover either way. 6 minutes to play here. Altavista still down 6.
Lamb with the basketball. Lamb looking for somewhere to go. Goes farther in that left corner. Now brings it across the middle lane. Basketball picked up by Altavista. Kayla Lee. And Lee called for a travel.
Yeah, double dribble, travel, one of the two. Either way, it's a turnover. Basketball headed back. Some more turnover problems for the Lady Colonels. But, hey, if they can get another steal or a stop or a rebound, missed shot, then it can avoid some of those problems.
Really not helping Altavista when East Rock gets a turnover, and Altavista turns it right back. Comer for 2. No good. Rebounded by Morris. 5:48 to go. Morris gets the dribble and gets it over to Kayla Lee. Lee off to TT Dews. Dews looking for somewhere to go. Dews gets it over to Robinson. Robinson back to TT. Dews over to Donegan. Donegan at the free throw line. Donegan looking for somewhere to go. Finds Robinson underneath. Robinson too far underneath. Didn't know her own position, I don't think. And it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go back to East Rockingham.
Great look by Donegan from the free throw line. She threw it in the low post to Chelsea Robinson. Robin just couldn't finish. Like you said, she got kind of caught underneath the basket. Tough angle to make a two-pointer from there.
A really bad break because when Altavista gets some momentum, Colonels aren't being able to capitalize. Lee lost it. It's going to stay to the Colonels, though.
It's a lot like the second quarter, Bob, where Altavista's defense was really doing a number on East Rockingham. I mean, East Rock has not scored yet in this fourth quarter. Let's see how long the Altavista Lady Colonels can keep that streak going. 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go in regulation. Dews over to Lee. Lee sets for three. It's good. Lee knocks that down, and this is to within three. First three-pointer of the night for the Lady Colonels. Big shot by Kayla Lee. That brings the Colonel fans to their feet, and with good reason. They're back within three, 30-27.
Tell you what, very reminiscent of the guys a few years ago when Madison blew them out in the regional final, and then some adjustments were made in the state final with a killer. Lamb with it, and she's going to be fouled. I think Madison won that game by 25, and then the state final got down to 2. Girls are playing it, to a T as well.
Yeah, Lady Colonels playing very well here. They've been scrappy. They've been down by as much as 10. Hey, they were down by 10 to start this quarter. They're only down 3 now. That foul was on the floor. It's the third one on Kalia Donegan.
Other thing to keep in mind, if you're going to foul, at least foul them on the floor. Three-pointer by Cameron. It's off. And that's going over to Altavista.
East Rock has really lost that shooting touch, Bob, and we talk about how tough it is to shoot in this gym, and I think it gets even tougher to shoot when the pressure gets amped up and the pressure's on the line. Pressure certainly enough for Paul Comer. He wants a timeout for his squad.
We'll take one as well. It's a 30-second break. Altavista down 3. 4 minutes, 37 seconds remain in quarter 4 on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista trails East Rockingham 30-27. Kyle Haney beat Paul Comer for a few moments.
I think he's telling his team to settle down a little bit and regain your composure. They've been here before. They've been down in basketball games before, I'm sure. If you're Coach Deborah Spencer, you're telling your team, hey, keep the heat on, make them uncomfortable, and keep playing the tough defense that the Lady Colonels are playing.
And, one thing I would throw in if I'm Paul Comer, you don't need to chase the points. Dews for 3. It's off the glass. No good. Rebounded by East Rock. Altavista's got to chase us. We don't have to chase, so we don't need to rush our shots.
3-point lead for East Rock right now.
Comer over to Lamb. Lamb's going to be fouled, and the shot's going to count.
Yeah, shot goes in. Foul's going to be on Chelsea Robinson. We knew East Rock was going to score at some point in the fourth quarter. They do it with 4:15 to go.
Well, he didn't want it to be that way with an and one. No. Robinson's second foul, Colonel's third.
And Bob, it's the fourth quarter brought to you by Feller Chevrolet, your one-stop shop for maintenance and service. Their certified technicians always perform like it's the fourth quarter. And the free throw does not go in for East Rockingham, so it's a 5-point lead, 32-27.
TT Dews with the basketball. Kalia Donegan will pop up now over to Kayla Lee. Lee over to TT. Hedge pass at the table to check in. Dews looking for somewhere to go. Now over to Kayla Lee. If you're the Colonels, you don't need to be greedy. 2 will do just fine. Morris gets it and sticks it in.
Great pass from Donegan again. Donegan at the free throw line. She lobs it over the top to Sydney Morris, who's on the low block. Sid the Kid finishes it off.
Cameron inside, knocked out of bounds by Donegan. Even though East Rock has been in a lot of these situations, Altavista's been in these situations too, but let's just give East Rock an advantage. If it's close, the kids are kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly. And just because you won one last year does not mean that you're still not nervous this year. Maybe you're a little better equipped to handle it, but I don't know how much, especially in a game like this where it's very tight. 3-point deficit, Altavista trails.
Comer drives, blocked by Morris, picked up by Dews. Dews with it. Hedgepath on her right. TT all the way down. Dews lays it up and in.
The big block by the sensation, and then the senior TT Dews finishes off the layup. 1-point ball game now. Altavista trailing 32-31.
I think both of us have talked about it over time. Defense leads to offense. Cameron with it. Gives it off to Doppelmayr for three. Triple is up. No good. Rebound kept alive by Cameron. Cameron has been all over the place. And Dews is going to get called for the foul.
Dews got in there a little bit late. Tried to take it away from Doppelmayr. And just caught with the hand in the cookie jar, as we would say. 3:01 to play in the Fellers fourth quarter, and it's 3 fouls on TT Dews. 4 on the team.
Not the worst foul in the world. It's on the floor. Cameron set for three. No good. Rebounded by Kayla Lee.
East Rock still pulling up a lot of those three-pointers. They lead by 1, 32-31. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. Kayla Lee will inbound. Ryan Hedgepath checked back in the game there while we were talking earlier, too, Bob.
Hedgepath, Lee, Dews, Morris, Donegan. The starting five for Altavista is the 5 on the floor right now.
And look at the guys' team from the Colonels. Normally they're in the locker room now. They've come out and they're taking this one in. They are very eager and intently watching this ball game.
2:41 to go. Colonels down by a point.
I'm not sure Coach C could keep the guys back in the locker room. You know, once they heard, hey, it's a 1-point game, they're going to come out and check this one out.
Guys' game was supposed to start at 3:45. Lee did not break the plane before she touched the basketball.
Yeah, tight defense there from East Rock. Wouldn't let Altavista get it back in bounds. Altavista's defense has been pretty tight. Only giving up 2 points in this quarter, Mr. Alvis.
Basketball in the hands of Comer. Now over to Doppelmayr. I'll tell you, if East Rock somehow loses this one, I think they can look in the mirror at some of these shots because they have taken them quick when they've had the lead.
That's something you and I talked about during one of the timeouts. East Rock has been pulling a lot of three-pointers here in this fourth quarter, and you and I said it, hey, the only shots I'd be taking if I had a lead were from about 2 feet away or from the foul line.
Cameron drives in, kick out to Lamb. Lamb at the free throw line, jumpers up, no good, rebounded by Morris. Morris couldn't corral it, it's going to be off Altavista.
Every rebound is closely contested. Every loose ball is closely contested. This is the kind of stuff you love if you're a basketball fan. 2 teams playing their hearts out.
I think you got to love Altavista's activity, too. They've really picked up the pace defensively and offensively. Shot's going to go up in a foul. It's going to send East Rock to the stripe for 2. 15 foul on the Colonels.
Well, we talked about the refs were letting them play a little bit, but you got to call a foul there as Sarah Cameron couldn't even throw the ball up to the basket. She was hammered so hard. 4 on Kalia Donegan, so that's not good news if you're a Lady Colonel fan. First free throw off back iron, no good. That is good news.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the other thing, too, Kyle, and keep this in mind, with 2:11 to go, East Rock has only committed 3 team fouls.
Right.
So they can commit a few more to get a situation to where Altavista has to stop play.
Certainly. Second free throw goes in, 33-31 now. Altavista trails by 2. Chance to tie or get a lead. And now the official wants a timeout because we got some things spilled out onto the court here.
I don't know what it was, but
looks like popcorn to me, but I'm not a food expert.
Yes, you are. Mike McCall, VHSL media information guy, taking Deborah Spencer, even helping out Angela Emerson and Chelsea Robinson. The last thing the Colonels want right now is to break any momentum.
Right. And that's, I think, probably what Deborah Spencer's thinking about. Let's get this cleaned up and get it off the court. 2:05 to play in the Fellers fourth quarter, Bob. Altavista trailing by 2 over East Rockingham. Lady Colonels basketball. And they could cut into, with a field goal, they could cut into the lead. They tie it up with a field goal. 3-point field goal would give the Lady Colonels the lead.
Inside to Donegan. Donegan couldn't handle it. And Donegan just upset at herself. And I'll tell you what, it's the case of when you think if you leave home, I'm not going to have to do a lot of cleaning. But
you just never know in these state championship games, Mr. Alvis. You never know what might happen.
Under 2 minutes to go. Comer with it. Gives it to Cameron. Colonels have one more foul to give. Cameron's going to pull it out. No 5-second call initiated yet. Morris still a ways away from her. Now on her. Cameron with it. Picks it up. Now off to Doppelmayr. Now over to Comer. Dews reaches in, and Dews picks up a foul. Good foul by TT. Bad part is it's her fourth.
TT, yeah, she tried to gamble a little bit. The steal was there. The ball was a little bit loose, and she just made too much contact with the body. And I think Coach Deborah Spencer wants a timeout here before East Rock will inbound the ball. She does, and it looks like a full 1-minute timeout.
Coach Spencer's got one left. 33-31, East Rockingham. Minute 31 to go. We'll take a break and come back after this on 105.5 KD Country.
Join KD Country for a multimedia shopping experience Saturday, March 9th. It's the KD Country semi-annual radio auction, and here's how it works. We'll describe the items up for bid. Call in your bid. Highest bid wins, and you can check out the items being auctioned at our Facebook page or at kdcountry.com. You'll be bidding on items such as these. From New London Trailer and Forest, a 6-foot Southern Equipment scraper blade. That's a $425 value. From Vinny's Restaurant in Lynchburg, certificates for pizza. From Spectrum Stone in Concord, a 4-inch vanity top with backsplash and bowl. Your choice of stone. Installation included, a $600 value. From Outback Steakhouse in Lynchburg, certificates for meals. And from Omni Radioactive, Timberlake Road, Lynchburg, a Pioneer app radio, in-dash, iPhone, and Android compatible, a value of $500. The semi-annual radio auction starts at 9 a.m. March 9th.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney, Nick Bailey, all three heads together discussing this one in terms of what to do and things like that. Altavista's next foul is going to send East Rock to the line for 1-1.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with fouling early, Bob, but you want to make sure it's not one of your players that has 4 fouls, and that's T.T. Dews and Kalia Donegan, both on the floor right now.
You want to make sure it's on the floor, too.
Right.
Lost out of bounds, and it's going to stay to the Eagles with $1:21 to go.
Now, if you're still down and there's only 30 seconds left, then you can't really be choosy about who fouls who. I mean, you may just have to give it up even if you do have 4 fouls.
Well, you could do the old offense-defense thing. Lamb goes to the hole, no good. Saw an opening. Altavista with it. They're down 2.
Great defense by Morris, partially blocked by her. Donegan was there as well.
We've seen 4. This is period 4. We might have period 5. Hedge path over to Morris. Sidney off to Kayla Lee. Lee looking for somewhere to go. Colonels have to be real careful. Over to T.T. Dews. Dews looking for somewhere to go. Gets it back out the hedge path. I don't think they're holding for 1, but they're looking for something good because East Rock all over them. Donegan tries to go over top. Taken away by the Eagles. Now I think you got a foul and you can't be but so choosy. Timeout by East Rock. Might have helped out because Donegan was chasing her. We'll keep it here with 42.8 to go. 1 timeout left for Altavista. East Rock, I believe, is going to have a pair to their name. All right, Kyle Haney, go.
Tough one here, Bob. I think if you're Altavista, you got to play defense on the inbounds pass at least. You're only down 2. It's a 1-possession game, so you don't have to foul immediately. But if it looks like East Rock's playing the keep-away game and you can't steal the ball, I think you may have to foul, particularly if you get under 30 seconds. 42.8 seconds right now. Lady Colonels trail by 2.
Got to make sure that foul's on the floor.
Right.
That's a big preference because then it's a 1-1. And then to boot off that, you better make sure you're blocking out.
You got to rebound, whether it's a regular East Rockingham field goal or whether it is on the foul shot. Again, I think I'd still prefer if it was somebody other than T.T. Dews or Kalia Donegan committing the foul.
Absolutely.
Because they have 4. But if the clock starts winding down, you don't have many choices then. You just got to do it.
Dews has 0, or Dews was on the inbounder, so that takes away her proficiency to foul. Kayla Lee's going to be the one whistled. It'll be Lee's 4th.
4 on lead now. That's 3 players on the court right now for Altavista that have 14 fouls. Didn't take too much time off the clock. 40.8 seconds left. And it will be a 1-1 shooting chance for Madison Comer of East Rock. And you said it. Got to box out here if you're the Lady Colonels.
Comer looking to extend the lead to 3. Free throws up. It's going to rim out. Rebounded by Sydney Morris. Now over to Hedgepath. Hedgepath with the basketball and looks at the clock. If you're Altavista, you can play for the win if you so choose, but definitely you can go for the tie. TT cut off. Hughes trying to tie it up. Jump ball. Arrow reads East Rock.
That's good news and bad news. The bad news is Altavista lost the ball on a turnover. The good news is now the possession arrow goes back to the Lady Colonels, Bob. So if it does come down to another jump ball in these last 27 seconds left, that'll go to Altavista. Lady Colonels got to really dig in on defense again.
I got more good news. TT Dews didn't commit a foul.
Yeah.
I mean, TT got in there and tied it up, and that was only her 4th.
Yep, very good point. She made a good play to get in there and get the basketball back. East Rock got to go the length of the court.
And Dews on the inbounder. Comer with it. Comer coming around. Lee is going to foul her, and that's it for Kayla. That's 5.
She's not happy about it, and tough play right there. She probably had to commit the foul. If Comer got by Lee, it would have been a 3-on-1 for East Rockingham, Bob. So it's a good foul. Lee gets a nice applause, and she definitely deserves it.
Well,
played a great game.
You could have tried the offense-defense substitution.
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
problem with that is if there's no whistle, you can't get your player back in.
Right.
And you only got one timeout left in your pocket. Erica Wilson with it. And you know me, I always like to keep that one timeout just in case you score or need it.
Right.
The clock does not stop. This is not college or the NBA under a minute to go.
Another 1-and-1 try here for East Rock. They missed their last one from the free throw line. So, again, if you're the Lady Colonels, got to box out. Could have the same situation. Lady Colonels down 2.
Comer at the stripe. Front iron. Rebound is going to come down by East Rock. Cameron took it back up. Picked up by Morris. 18 seconds left. Sydney drives all the way in. Morris puts it up. No good. Sydney looking for a whistle. Pick up. No good on the second try. Still loose, and a foul is going to go against Altavista.
Couple good chances there for the Lady Colonels. Morris missed the first one. Donegan missed the second one. Dews had to foul after the rebound. And now Coach Deborah no, she doesn't want a timeout. She just wants to talk to the official. It is 5 on Dews, so Coach Spencer's got some time to make a substitute change and maybe use this kind of like a timeout that's not a timeout. You take your time and figure out who you're going to put in. And it looks like she's going to put in Taylor Kraft.
Well, good news again. It's 1-and-1.
Yeah, his score hasn't changed in a while, has it, Bob? Still 33-31. East Rockingham leads. 10.9 seconds left. Again, it's a 1-and-1. Altavista. Worst they could be down is 4. Best they could do would be down 2 again, and they'd have just under 11 seconds to come down and try again.
One timeout.
Yep.
Also, 10.9 to go. It's going to be Jessica Lamb at the free throw line, and Lamb misses. Hedgepath with the basketball. Deborah Spencer wants to get a timeout after Altavista got in the front court. Very good play by Altavista. We'll keep it here. 7.2 seconds to go.
Great stuff, Bob.
Here's some situations. Let me set the scene. Lee and Dews are out.
Right.
So your three-point shooters, for the most part, are out. At this point, if you're Altavista, I think you like to go to the rack. But at the same time, you know, the officials don't want to decide this game with 7.2 unless there's just bloody murder.
That's exactly right. You know, in these big games, officials a lot of times are not going to call the foul later on. They want to let the players play, and that's probably a good thing. But I'm with you. I think you got to get it in close to the basket. Your best bet, probably throw it into Sydney Morris and let her try and work her mojo, get it to the bucket. Maybe even there's a three-point possibility that way. But it's something we've always talked about. You'd love to get the first shot up with about 3 or 4 seconds left, because at least you have then time to get an offensive rebound and a tip-in on a missed shot. But that's best case.
Yeah.
Sometimes whatever play you draw up in the huddle, you don't get to execute it based on what East Rock does defensively.
Well, keep in mind, East Rock has 3 fouls, too.
Right, yeah.
So they can commit fouls, and if you're Altavista at that point, try to get something up when they're fouling you. It's real tough if you're East Rock.
And a lot of times that's the strategy. If you have less than 7 fouls, the defensive team will foul just to run a few seconds off and make the offensive team inbound it again. Exactly.
I mean, you know, that's almost 2 seconds of foul.
Well, you know, we saw Altavista in that state championship game against Nandua, the one they lost, or maybe it's the state semifinal, one of the two. Guys, they did the very same thing. They committed about 3 fouls in 10 seconds. Here we go. 7.2 seconds left. Hedgepath inbound from the sideline.
Hedgepath is going to inbound it.
Lady Colonels trail by 2.
Hedgepath's got to get it in. Throws it down low. Ball is deflected, and it's going to stay to Altavista.
And I actually think this is good for Altavista. They get to inbound and underneath the basket. You got a lot more scoring plays there. 6.2 seconds left.
Robinson looking for somewhere to go. Robinson gets it into Morris. Morris jumper, no good. Basketball is rebounded by East Rock, and a foul. 2 seconds left. Now it's a 2-shot foul. Cameron could ice it.
Yeah, make 1 or 2 here. If you make 2, it's over. If you make 1, Altavista would have to hit a 3 to tie. If they make none, Altavista would have to really hurry and get down. You might even have to still put up a 3-pointer for Altavista, because it would be hard to get down the whole length of the court. But there are 2 free throws, 1-and-1. Or is it 2 free throws, Bob? Are we up to 10 now? Okay.
That's a double bonus.
2 free throws on the way for East Rock.
Donegan commits the foul. Taylor Kraft going to check back in. So Kraft, Morris, Hedgepath, Robinson, and Wilson on the floor.
Altavista, you got to box out on that second free throw. It is 2 free throws. 33-31, East Rockingham leads. First one up, goes down no problem with a swish.
If I'm Cameron, I make this 34-31.
Yeah, I don't get into the intentional miss either. Let's see what happens here, though. Altavista's got to box out. They got to get the rebound on a missed shot.
Cameron rattles it home, and that will probably do it. Altavista has 0 timeouts left. Hedgepath will just launch it, and Altavista comes up short, but not for a lack of effort. 4-point lead turns into a win, 35-31, East Rockingham. And Deborah Spencer out on the floor consoling Sydney Morris and the crew. What a game by Altavista, though. I mean, if you told anybody up at Spotswood a few weeks ago, Kyle, this would be a 4-point game coming down to the last 2 seconds, who would have believed you?
Exactly, and Altavista, I mean, think about how many chances they had in that last minute on offense where they could have scored and tied or taken the lead. Lady Colonels have absolutely nothing to hang their heads about. This loss is going to be hard for them to swallow, and you can even see some tears already. But Lady Colonels played a great basketball game, Bob. Nothing to be ashamed of on their end.
Good portion of the Lady Colonels come back, though. You lose your guards, but you carry on your forwards for the most part. Hedgepath, Wilson, and Dews are 3 seniors. So we'll take a break and come back in the Subway postgame show. 35-31, East Rockingham wins the Group A Division I Girls State title on 105.5 KD Country.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Virginia High School League and the Virginia Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Heard of Moose? The Altavista Moose Family Center proudly supports Altavista High School athletics. Moose International is a family-centered, community-based organization that has been serving the Altavista area since 1952. The Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road in Altavista wants to wish the Colonel basketball teams good luck in the playoffs. Give the Moose Family Center a call at 369-6945 today to see how they're bringing together the Altavista community. Moose, a family fraternity.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
East Rockingham captures the Group A Division I state championship 35-31. Just had a moment of silence here from Marshall Johnson, longtime VHSL really historian who passed away just a few weeks ago. Sportsmanship trophy always named in his honor here. So the Group A Division I sportsmanship state championship will be awarded, and we'll check that out in a minute. Altavista comes out 4 points shy, 35-31, and Altavista is going to win the sportsmanship trophy. So that's a trophy you always like to see come your way as well, because that means you did things the right way. Win with class, lose with class, and Altavista unfortunately comes out on the short end today, 35-31.